Right, boys, what I'm about to share with you in this video is probably one of the strongest driving factors that I use to change my life. I cannot tell you how much this has affected my mind, my belief systems, what I want out of life, and how much energy I get for my goals. This picture actually marks a very important turning point in my life. This was my first big day where it all changed. Everything changed forever. My self-belief, my hunger for life, the things that I wanted. This is when my mind expanded and I started really understanding what was possible. The reason for this is because this was the first day I ever made what I class as real money, right? I did £2,700 at a trade show in cash. I didn't do any profit and loss account. That wasn't all profit. I don't even know how much profit I made. In this photo, I'm 18 years old, never had a job, never been around money, never seen someone earn money like this in a day. Ever. Ever. Never even seen it, right? I know it's possible, but I've never seen it. So I don't really believe it. And I remember ringing my dad and telling him, and I was like answering the phone like this, Dad, I can't believe it. It was like I won the lottery. For real, this was a crazy experience for me, yeah? And I became a killer after this. Like, I went from not really knowing what I was doing and testing a few things to, like, really moving with confidence, like, really started executing. And not long after this, I started making real money. And this same show I went to every single year afterwards, right? The year after, I went and did 8 grand. The year after that, I did 12. The year after that, I did 18 in a day, right? In a single day. That's all because of this day. If I had not had this day, I would have never been exposed to what was possible, right? This set off a chain sequence of events. Now, you might be thinking, well, right, that's one show for you. Well done. Congratulations. Pat on the back. Well, it's not about that. Yeah. The reason why I'm telling you this is because I'm from a small town. You don't really get exposed to many things if you're from a small town. Now, when I started getting a bit inquisitive about making money, I started trying to go look for it. And I couldn't find it in my town. So I was going somewhere else. This was a trade show where I travelled out to go there, right? I took a gamble. At the time, I remember it being a lot of money because I had to pay for the table and my van and costs and all this type of thing, right? I was a young kid. It were a little bit uncomfortable for me to go there. I was a beginner. Everyone else was way more experienced. I'd got judged and stuff like that. But look, once I went and pushed myself and forced myself to get in a different environment, forced myself to have my own business going on, right? This is what happened. And because I knew it was now possible, I could now go do it again. Until you've exposed yourself to something, you know it's possible. You don't really know it's possible. Just like, the pan's hot when you're cooking, but you don't really know until you put your fingers on it. You understand what I'm saying? So when I experienced this, I was now exposed to it. That's why it had such a big effect. I was exposed to it. And I felt it. I felt the emotion. I felt the emotion at the end of the day, and I was hooked. I was hooked. And this same business, I went on to make £1.5 million with it, yeah? So I was hooked to this, and this is where it all started. Really, it really was. And this is because I went and put myself in a different environment. I put myself in an environment that was uncomfortable, and I made a gamble to see if it were actually going to be successful or not, right? And that might not seem like a big thing now as an adult, right? But when I was 18 years old, it was. From a small town. People don't really travel about back then. I'm from a small town. Working class, descendants of factory workers. Now, if you're from a small town, there's one thing that you've got to be wary of. They are not for ambitious people. Because what you find is, you go to a major city, London, New York, whatever, right? You're getting people from all over the world. You're getting new ideas, fresh ideas, new mindsets, progressive mindsets. And all the time, you're having the world's best of everywhere, working and networking and mindsets and ideas going around. And, all the information starts in the major cities, right? Now, when you go to a small town, people have lived there their whole lives. The parents have lived there. The grandparents have lived there. Their grandparents have lived there. Probably had a job there. They've always been there. Now, with that becomes a lot of comfort. If you're 80 years old and you want to settle down, comfort's great, right? If you're an ambitious teenager or 20-year-old, comfort is a drug that's going to kill your ambition. right? So this is actually the worst place you can be. And especially if you're from a working class background. So I'm from Bradford, right? Back 30, 40, 50 years ago, factory, there's a lot of textiles in Bradford. So all my family come from factory workers, the bottom working class people that there's ever been in Britain, right? And the thing is, poor people think a different way. You talk different way. You talk different belief settings. I remember my great granddad, right? So my grandma's dad. I remember my dad telling me this story. Yeah. So he used to think buying houses was a waste of money back when houses were like 400 quid. And when I heard that, I realized something was wrong. And why is something wrong with that? Well, it's not that he was lazy or a loser or any of this bullshit, right? He couldn't go on YouTube. He couldn't go to the library and read all these business books because they weren't the same opportunity that we've got now. But what that means is his parents taught him that. His area taught him that. The information was restricted, right? And even still now, in modern day, you've got people who've had that same information passed down to them, and that's all they have in their mind, right? But that's not going to make you no money. That's not going to get you no progress. So I understood this, right? After this moment, I understood this. I wanted to get a different type of mindset in. I had higher ambitions for my life, right? I wanted to expose myself to different things, and I wanted to make some money. We all want to make money, right? I want to just try and describe what would have been the difference if I didn't go to that event, if I didn't step out my comfort zone, and if I didn't seek out a new environment that aligned with my goals, right? Well, I wouldn't have done the 8K the next year. And I wouldn't have done the 12K. I wouldn't have done the 18K in a single day. I wouldn't have built a business that I'd have made all that money from. So it all started from that one thing. And it's not just about that event. It's not just about going to that place, but it's about exposing your mind to what is possible. Because also what that does is it makes you more curious. So you go make a little bit of money in a day like that. And you think, wow, well, if I can make that in a day, then maybe I can make 2 times that, 10 times that. And then you start going for an even bigger goal. And that's what's really powerful about this. And look, guys, the internet is not a substitute. Yeah, the worst thing that you can do is watch all the lifestyles that you want to live on the internet, yet stay in your same comfort zone. That is the worst thing that you can do. It's not a substitute. Real life is how it needs to be experienced. You have to feel and taste experiences. Now, I'm not just talking about work events here, right? I've just recently gone out to Dubai to a networking thing, right? And I met the richest guy I've ever met in my life, who worth 40 million. He sold his business for $40 million, yeah. Richest guy I've ever met. Now, I know there's people in the world worth $40 million. However, I haven't sat and spoke to someone for an hour like I have done. And I was only able to do that because I went and put myself in that environment where I knew that would be a likely outcome. Now I've done that, I've exposed my mind to it. I've tasted it. And this is another thing. Even if you're broke, right? This is not just about going to places to make money, but sometimes you just need to experience what you're going for just to build the hunger. I don't care if you've got to go sit in the lobby and buy a coffee or not buy anything at all. Just go to the places that align with your ambitions. Go to the nice hotel lobbies. Sit in the lobby. Feel the seats. Look what people are wearing. Look how people are respected. Imagine yourself there. Feel what temperature it is. Get a clear image of what's in your mind. Because when you start exposing yourself to these things, you're going to build desire. And you're not only going to build desire, but you're going to build a clear picture of what it's like. So when you imagine yourself there again, because you've already been there, you believe it that bit more. And that is major. If you're from a small town and you don't like where you live, you don't like the friends that you're around, you want more out of life, well, this is how you do it. You do it by using your imagination. Sometimes that's all you've got. Trust me, I've been there. I've been working shit jobs in shit situations. Sometimes all you have is your imagination. You can be in a sticky financial spot, flat broke, hating your life, and all you've got is your imagination. So if you want to ramp up that imagination and get crystal clear, you've got to go experience things. And you don't need money to do it. Just go places. And look, these are investments, right? I don't care if you've got to go to a different country. The problem is, employees feel like for them to go to a different country, they've got to go get drunk for 7 days. Well, no. You can go to a networking event. You can go to a business event. You can go just live in a different country for a week. and just do your normal life, go to the gym, work, whatever you want to do. But go and be at the places where you want to end up, right? I can't move to Dubai at the minute, but I did want to see the city because I liked that environment. I liked what I thought that environment would be. I like to meet other entrepreneurs. So I went and put myself in that environment because that ultimately has made it more real for myself now. I've actually been there, I've actually seen it. It's different. When you're there in person, it's different from online. You're proving to your brain that it's real. You're changing your belief systems. This is a massive part, right? Some people never change their belief systems. So they've got this desire, but they don't believe that they can get it. But for you to break that belief system, if you see it and feel it and breathe it, then you do believe it. Your mind believes it because you've physically been there. Your brain doesn't know the difference whether you've been there paying as a customer or you've just been there as a person, right? But once you've exposed yourself and you've seen it and felt it and tasted it, you can do it. And I don't care if you're flat broke, right? If you're flat broke and this costs you money, well, go do it because it's an investment, okay? This is another thing that I used to do. I went through a period of time of just sitting and working for so long in my town where I'm from, right? And what happened was, well, I just turned into like 30% capacity all the time because I forgot what it was like not to work. I didn't know about going places because I didn't go anywhere. So where am I building the hunger and desire to work harder, to experience things I haven't experienced, right? If you don't leave your country or hometown for 3 years, you've forgotten what it's like everywhere else. Yeah, you might have a vivid imagination, you might go watch it on YouTube, but you don't know the feeling and the smells and the taste, right? So it not only stunts your growth, but it stops you even when you're working all the time. So even if you're working 7 days a week for years, it actually is worse for you. The quality of your work's different. I cannot stress how important it is to go taste. Go taste and feel it. City trips, traveling, work events. And if you've got no friends to do this with, go on your own. I've done that. I do that. Or go meet people, right? Look, example here, right? I met this guy, Limo, very successful business owner, as a dating coach. Another entrepreneur my age from Estonia. And because I went and put myself in that situation, well, if I'd have never left my hometown, I'd have never met this guy. But now I've got a friend in Estonia. I know he's into business. I know he's into entrepreneurship. We've got similar interests, similar age. Now I've gone and met someone that's aligned with my goals. But those people, just like me, are in those places. So I have to go to those places if I want to meet those people, right? And that's the same thing that you have to do. And look, people are going here to grow. So if you want to grow, you need to go where the people that want to grow are going, yeah? Get out your hometown. It doesn't have to be permanently if you can't. Don't have to be a permanent move. Listen, I still live near my hometown, right? But I'm moving. I'm making every single thing sorted so I can move. I'm leaving my home area, right? And I do constantly expose myself to it, even throughout building my business. Or if I'm super busy, I will take time to go taste these things. But now I am moving, and I've only just gone and tasted things for all these years, and it's done massive things for me. Now we're going on to the next step, and we're moving. And if you subscribe to this channel, you'll see where I'm moving to, and you'll see the journey, because I'm going to put it all on here. But yeah, guys, if you're from a small town, it's essential to get out of that town. Go find stuff, go do stuff, go taste stuff, experiences. Don't convince yourself that you need to hustle 24/7, because it can have the negative effect. It's an essential to go taste. It's going to make you more money. You're going to get more relationships. You're going to feel better about your life. And when you're doing your work, you're going to be more focused, higher output, and better quality.